In the night from October 5th to October 6th, at 11:30 p.m., we gained access to the Thiergarten hunting lodge near Regensburg. Multiple incendiary devices led to the complete destruction of the castle. The target was not chosen arbitrarily by us. The castle, in its current state since the fire and subsequent rebuilding at the end of the 19th century, has been in the possession of the Thurn und taxis family. For centuries, Thurn und taxis has stood for monarchy, contempt for humanity, and a class society. While times are once again getting tougher for a large part of the population in Germany, we are confronted with the fact that Gloria von Thurn und taxis, a major capitalist, resides right in the middle of Regensburg, in a castle that has more rooms than Buckingham Palace. The princess represents the networking of the most reactionary parts of the ruling class. She belongs to the segment of the bourgeoisie that promotes the recurring fascism in Germany and around the world. For example, in 2018, she met with former Trump strategist Steve Bannon on the rooftop terrace of a hotel in Rome. Large parts of the New Right had gathered there. At the time, Bannon had a plan to establish a fascist cadre school called Gladiator School in an Italian monastery. The German noblewoman was supposed to help him with this. Since the monastery required renovation, Bannon promptly announced that the seminars could temporarily be held at St. Emmeram, the Thurn und taxis castle in Regensburg. At the time, the chatelaine denied this, but by no means due to ideological contradictions, but only because her castle was fully rented. Furthermore, in the ARD podcast, Nicht mehr mein Land, No Longer My Country, she defended the leading fascist Björn Höcke. Höcke had been convicted for using the prohibited SA slogan, Alles für Deutschland, everything for Germany. Gloria von Thurn und taxis said about this in the podcast, "What's wrong with that? I say, everything for Regensburg." The phrase was clearly used by the SA as a slogan and was engraved on their daggers. Thurn und taxis' sympathy for the new fascist movement is also evident on the guest list of Schloss Emmeram. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán, the right-wing conservative U.S. Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito, and AfD members Maximilian Krah and Alice Weidel have all been visitors to Gloria's Palace Festival. The former president of the Federal Office for the Protection of the Constitution, Hans-Georg Maassen, hosted a fundraising dinner at St. Emmeram in 2023. Furthermore, Gloria von Thurn und taxis is an opponent of abortion. She once said on a talk show, "Abortion is murder, that must be called by its name." The castle in the English hunting lodge style, which is now burned down, was used as a summer residence by the princely house of Regensburg until the end of the Second World War. In the 1960s, it became the seat of the local golf club, but it has remained in the family's possession until today. However, it was not only the summer residence of the princely house until 1945. The Regensburg statistician Dr. Richard Korher, as head of the Statistical Scientific Institute of the Nazi regime, compiled the first report on the murder of European Jews as a birthday present for Adolf Hitler. In the last 2 years of Germany's fascist war of annihilation, this central authority, which was partly responsible for the Holocaust, was housed in the Thurn und taxis hunting lodge. The self-proclaimed monarchist Prince Albert must have at least tolerated this use. The points mentioned above are more than enough reasons for us to send Gloria a clear warning. If you do not stop your misanthropic agitation, the next time it won't just be your golf club burning. The nobility in Germany must finally be expropriated, and the living space of Schloss Emmeram must be converted into social housing. As was already the case during the Bavarian Soviet Republic, it is essential to unite and fight for a different world without exploitation, oppression, exclusion, and patriarchy. In the current phase of strong repression against the anti-fascist movement, it is important to remain offensive. Our action was a direct reaction to the state's attacks on the accused in the Antifa East Budapest complex. €4 million in damage for 5 years imprisonment for Hannah. For a strong and offensive anti-fascist movement. Greetings to the prison and the underground.